Now these individuals are hearing it for the first time in a generation. They're hearing it for the first time, and they're literally hearing it. And as they're hearing it, they're saying, hold on, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to go up to the mountain, fetch branches. We need to do this because it's written. That's the kind of heart that we need to have. We need to have that kind of heart. To try not to... These people, they've come out of captivity and they're surrounded by enemies. The Bible describes that they have to build the walls with weapons in their hands to protect themselves, to protect what they're building because of the enemies which are surrounding them. There are people mocking and scoffing and trying to bring them down and be negative about what they're doing, trying to disrupt the work which they've been commissioned to do. We're in this situation. We're in this very situation. We might not be in Jerusalem, but think about what it's like trying to keep the feast, trying to keep the Sabbath. Think about the amount of trouble that you may have gone through in your home, with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your family, with your employer, etc., 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 with your school, and so on and so forth, just to be obedient. However, if we look at what is in the scripture and what is to come, we are like these people. If it's not going to be established by you, who is it going to be established with? Ezra was a scribe. Nehemiah was a cupbearer. Somehow he went from being a person who bears a cup to being a governor, to being in the Bible. Now, but there's a greater book for us, the saints of the Most High, and that book is called the Lamb's Book of Life. The Bible tells us not to rejoice because the spirits are subject unto us, but that our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. So when we're looking at certain situations and we're seeing what goes on, we have to bear those things in mind. We're not just resisting and fighting for ourselves. If it wasn't for these people who did this and went through this process, would the oracles have ever passed to us? They passed on to us some traditions and some doctrines of men, but they also passed on to us the law. They also passed on to us the scriptures, the prophets and the Psalms. Now, if they didn't have the sense to leave Babylon, to build the temple or build a foundation and stand and read this law, will we ever know about it? Now, if Yeshua tarries, his kingdom is a foundation which we are building. That's the way we've got to look at it. If we're in that field, if we're doing the work of a harvester, we have to think generationally. We just can't look at our own lives and just consider the work that we do for the kingdom as being something we are just toiling for, and consider sometimes that we can consider it not to be worth it. We have to consider, if Yeshua doesn't come back for another 10, 50, 100, 200 years, what are we doing today to improve the situation for the next generation?